You ever wonder, what if? What if the reason you felt like an outsider wasn't a verdict, but a veiled invitation, a disguised doorway leading not to exclusion, but to expansion? And maybe that flicker, that itch of I don't belong, is actually a buried signal reminding you. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, and then teach others how to connect to your way of being. So tell me, what happens when your unconscious mind begins to realize that belonging is not something you earn, but something you emanate? Let's play a little mental experiment, shall we? Imagine a man who walks into a room, shoulders slightly curled, scanning faces, waiting for someone else to include him. He whispers inside, I hope they like me. He becomes invisible. Now imagine another, same room, same people, but he walks like he owns the floor beneath him. Not out of arrogance, but resonance. He isn't looking for permission to belong. He assumes connection. He's the gravity, not the object. Which one were you taught to be? Which one were you born to become? And now, just for a moment, consider the possibility that every belief you had about being an outsider was learned, installed, coded into your nervous system like outdated software, and now you're upgrading right here, right now. Because when you change the code, the output rewrites itself. Not just I belong, but I'm the source of belonging. Not just I'm confident, but confidence is the water I breathe, the rhythm I radiate. Not just I can connect, but my presence magnetizes connection. Do you feel it? That slow spreading recognition. The moment when your cells begin to agree. Let's confuse the mind and clarify the soul. Because isn't it curious how people who belong don't think about belonging? They simply do. Like breathing, like blinking, like belonging is an action beneath awareness. So you might not even notice that you've already begun to embody it, the shift, subtle yes, but seismic. Isn't it fascinating how the outsider identity was never a curse, but a chrysalis, a temporary cocoon, a necessary silence before the voice blooms? Like the oak that hides inside the acorn, you've been gathering the tension, the insight, the longing. It now becomes connection, charisma, and confidence. Let's spiral deeper, metaphorically, neurologically, unconsciously. Let's say a person named before lived believing they were separate, and the person named now realizes that energy is magnetic and intention is signal, and people don't respond to truth, they respond to certainty. You now become now. Now doesn't wait to be liked. They create value at presence. They don't chase belonging, they broadcast resonance. And every outsider's edge becomes insider advantage. Because maybe it wasn't disconnection, maybe it was divergence. A higher signal looking for a finer frequency. And you just hadn't tuned your dial yet. But you're tuning now, even without realizing, even while pretending not to. Let's embed some truth here, quietly, smoothly, so it bypasses resistance. You're capable of change. You're already becoming. You belong as you are, and as you evolve. Confidence isn't a performance. It's your home frequency. Every social cue is a pattern, and patterns can be learned, mirrored, and mastered. Let's loop and confuse to liberate. The outsider becomes the observer. The observer becomes the mirror becomes the leader becomes the light, and the light shines from the inside. Curious thing about behaviour, you act as if, until as if becomes is. You walk into rooms not wondering who will accept you, but wondering whose nervous system will remember your presence. Because connection is biological, charisma is chemical, confidence is contagious. And you are already becoming viral. Not metaphorically, neuro-linguistically. Let's install some anchor points, shall we? Right now, as you think about a time you felt included, let your mind recreate it, see it, hear it, feel it. And as you feel it, press your thumb and finger together. Hold it. That's your anchor. That's your switch. That is your neural shortcut. And from this point forward, whenever you need it, that gesture brings the feeling. You don't recall it, you recreate it. Like software that auto-loads. Like light through a lens. Let's play a final loop. And this is the fun part. Someone who once felt excluded becomes a social genius. They start by listening because presence creates prestige. They ask curious questions because depth is attractive. They speak from their truth because authenticity is irresistible. They laugh because joy dissolves defences. They show up fully, repeatedly, even when it's awkward, because momentum beats perfection, always. And now, whether you notice it or not, every word here has begun to rewrite the code. Beliefs you once questioned now live in your bones. Patterns you once resisted now feel like rhythm. And language you once heard now speaks through you. You're not learning anymore. You're remembering who you really are. A force, a field, a presence so undeniably grounded that others feel safer just by standing near you. The best part, this new operating system is already installed. Welcome home to yourself, to your people, to your power. The outsider is now the axis, and the world turns to face you.